Many of us grew up in a time when talking about sexual expression, especially in private, was just not done. It was often whispered about, frowned upon, or even shamed. So it's understandable that for many seniors, this natural habit might quietly disappear, pushed aside by health changes, old beliefs, or just a feeling of disconnection. But here's the honest truth I want to share with you. Something few doctors might tell you openly. When you stop connecting with yourself in this way after 60, it can slowly harm much more than just your libido. It really can affect your entire well-being. This isn't about chasing desire, it's about life itself, about circulation, hormones, sleep, confidence, prostate health, emotional grounding, and yes, even dignity in aging. So, let's talk openly about what can happen if you stop engaging in this natural act during your golden years. Your body responds to what it no longer receives. Just like a muscle shrinks when you don't use it, or joints stiffen without movement, our sexual organs respond in a similar way to inactivity. When masturbation stops completely, the blood flow to your pelvic area can significantly reduce. Think of it like a quiet stream that starts to slow down and then stagnate. This reduced circulation can lead to discomfort and lowered sensitivity. For men, it can even increase the risk of prostate problems. The tissues that once responded easily to stimulation can start to atrophy, becoming less elastic, less responsive, and sometimes even painful. For women, you might notice increased vaginal dryness, irritation, or just a general feeling of being disconnected from your own body. What's often surprising to many is how quickly these physical changes can happen. Within just a few months of no sexual stimulation, your body can begin to forget what it once knew so well. And unlike when we were younger, it takes longer to get back what's been lost. Regular self-stimulation, even just once or twice a week, can really help maintain elasticity, sensitivity, and overall pelvic health. It's a simple form of self-care that helps prevent stagnation, discomfort, and future complications. You wouldn't stop brushing your teeth just because you're getting older, would you? We shouldn't neglect this essential part of our health either. The emotional toll of disconnection. But your body is only one part of the story. What happens emotionally when you no longer feel connected to your own pleasure? That's where things get even more personal. When you stop masturbating, it's not just a physical shift, it becomes an emotional and psychological one too. Over time, many older adults start to feel detached from their own bodies, almost as if they're just caretakers of a vessel rather than truly living in it. This emotional disconnect can show up quietly at first. A lack of interest in your appearance, a diminished sense of self-worth, or even a subtle feeling of being invisible. What was once a source of comfort, release, and joy becomes something avoided or forgotten. Masturbation, while deeply personal, is also deeply affirming. It reminds you that your body still belongs to you, that you're still capable of feeling, choosing, and engaging in something purely for your own pleasure. For many, this simple act helps restore a sense of agency and identity that can sometimes fade with age. It's not just about physical gratification, it's about emotional grounding, building self-confidence, and connecting with your inner life. Without this private ritual, loneliness can deepen, anxiety can quietly grow, and a sense of emotional flatness might replace the vibrant inner world you once knew. For some, this can even affect how they interact with others, leading to less warmth, less openness, and less joy. When you stop connecting intimately with yourself, you might slowly begin to disconnect from the world around you. Prostate health depends on activity for men. For men, few things are as quietly essential to long-term health as the prostate. This small gland plays a major role in both sexual and urinary function, yet it's often ignored until problems start. What many don't realize is that regular ejaculation, whether through intimacy or masturbation, isn't just pleasurable, it's also protective. When a man stops masturbating entirely, the prostate can begin to stagnate. Fluids can build up, leading to a condition called prostate congestion, which can cause discomfort, pressure, and even a higher risk of inflammation or infection over time. Ejaculation helps keep the prostate active, clears out old fluids, and stimulates blood flow to the region. Without it, the gland may become more prone to enlargement, known as benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH. This can interfere with urination, leading to frequent nighttime trips to the bathroom or even needing medical intervention. This isn't just theory, it's backed by decades of medical observation. Maintaining sexual activity, even privately, can help the prostate stay healthy and responsive. Ignoring this aspect isn't about modesty. It's a missed opportunity for prevention. Something as simple as regular self-pleasure can be a proactive, natural way to protect this vital part of your body. Hormonal balance and brain chemistry. The benefits of self-intimacy go even deeper than organ health. One of the most overlooked aspects in older adults is its direct impact on your hormonal balance and brain chemistry. When you stimulate your body and reach orgasm, your brain releases a cascade of natural chemicals: dopamine, oxytocin, endorphins, and prolactin. These aren't just feel-good hormones. They actively regulate your mood, improve your sleep, ease anxiety, and even support your immune function. In a stage of life where insomnia, depression, and stress can be more common, these natural responses become powerful tools for overall wellness. Dopamine helps you feel motivated and emotionally engaged. Oxytocin fosters a sense of calm and connection, even when you're alone. Endorphins reduce pain and bring clarity. Prolactin supports restful sleep and cellular recovery. All of this happens from a private, simple act that requires no prescription, no insurance approval, and no doctor's visit. The absence of this hormonal activity can lead to a slow decline in your emotional well-being. Without it, you might feel more anxious, more irritable, or emotionally numb. Sleep becomes harder, and stress lingers longer. Over time, this imbalance can quietly affect your memory, focus, and even your physical resilience. Self-intimacy isn't just about pleasure, it's about internal chemistry. It's about giving your brain the signals it needs to keep you feeling grounded, relaxed, and alive. Touch is a basic human need, even when it comes from yourself. As we age, touch often becomes something we receive less and less of. Hugs might become rare, intimacy may fade, and for many, living alone means navigating life without the consistent presence of a companion. This absence of touch, even self-touch, can create a deep emotional void that affects not only mental health, but physical well-being. Self-intimacy, in its simplest form, is a way of staying connected to your body. It's a form of nurturing, reminding yourself that you are still alive, still deserving of comfort, and still capable of feeling. Many older adults unconsciously start treating their bodies like fragile machines to be maintained rather than homes to be cherished. They go through routines, bathing, dressing, taking pills, without truly acknowledging their physical self with warmth or kindness. Over time, this disconnect can lead to a sense of emotional numbness or alienation from the very body that has carried them through life. Self-touch changes that. It invites you to slow down, to listen, to feel not out of obligation, but out of care. It becomes more than just sexual. It becomes meditative, a way to affirm, I am still here, I still matter, I still belong to myself. This act of reclaiming touch can restore confidence and soothe the loneliness that sometimes creeps in with age. Intimacy doesn't end when partnerships do. As we grow older, relationships evolve. Some lose a partner to illness or time, while others may face emotional distance in long-term marriages. Still others may live alone, navigating retirement and aging without a consistent companion. In these moments, many might believe that intimacy, once vibrant and alive, is simply over. But true intimacy doesn't require a partner. It begins with you. Self-intimacy allows you to maintain a relationship with your own desire, your own tenderness, and your own emotional world, no matter your relationship status. Far from being a replacement for a partner, self-intimacy is a form of independence. It's an act of reclaiming closeness on your terms. It sends a message to your spirit that your ability to feel pleasure, comfort, and closeness didn't leave with another person. It still lives within you. This kind of private connection is especially important when physical or emotional closeness with others isn't possible. It helps maintain a sense of emotional equilibrium and personal agency. It reduces the loneliness that can creep in during long, quiet evenings. And most importantly, it reminds you that you are still a complete feeling human being, capable of joy and softness even without a partner beside you. The shame must be left behind. Now, while all these benefits are deeply healing, many seniors still carry unnecessary guilt or shame around this subject. It's time to face that outdated burden head on because the damage it causes runs deeper than most realize. Many of us grew up in a time when sexuality, especially self-pleasure, was wrapped in silence, judgment, and shame. Messages from family, religion, and society often made masturbation seem dirty, sinful, or inappropriate, especially as you got older. Over time, these beliefs became deeply ingrained, quietly shaping how you might feel about your own body. But here's the truth. That shame doesn't belong to you anymore. It was inherited, and you have every right to let it go. Masturbation is not a sign of weakness or moral failure. It is a normal, healthy, and even therapeutic part of the human experience. Letting go of the shame that has followed you for decades is one of the most liberating acts you can give yourself in later life. When you stop viewing self-pleasure as something wrong, you begin to reclaim control over your physical and emotional well-being. What replaces shame is not just acceptance, but confidence, peace, and relief. When you understand that your body still deserves care, pleasure, and attention, you begin to treat yourself differently. You walk with more dignity, you sleep more soundly, and you live more freely. By removing the weight of shame, you also make space for self-care. A final word, the most personal act of self-care. As you stand at this stage of life, with all its richness, wisdom, and reflection, you've likely come to understand something essential. Aging isn't about decline. It's about rediscovery. You are not fading, you are evolving. And one of the most intimate, often overlooked parts of that evolution is the relationship you have with your own body. Your body, though different from decades past, still belongs to you. It still responds to care. It still reacts to kindness. It still thrives on attention. Touch in any form is a human need. And when that touch comes from you, it is not just physical, it is spiritual, it is emotional. It says to your heart, you are still here. You still matter. Masturbation at this stage of life is not a shameful act. It is one of the most profound acts of self-care available to you. It helps maintain circulation, supports prostate and pelvic health, balances mood and hormones, eases loneliness, improves sleep, and reminds you that you are not disconnected from your desires or identity. Even in solitude, you can feel alive, powerful, and whole. If no one ever told you this before, hear it now. You do not need permission to be close to yourself. You do not need to apologize for being human. You do not need to carry outdated beliefs that silence your needs or dismiss your body's truths. You deserve to feel. You deserve to rest without emptiness. You deserve to look in the mirror and see someone who is still worth touching, still worth loving, still worth being. The world often forgets the power of quiet rituals, of closing the door, breathing deeply, and giving yourself what no one else can. But in that moment when the world slows and you return to yourself, you may find something sacred, a reconnection, a softening, a spark. So, as you move forward, carry this truth with you. Self-intimacy is not something to be hidden from, judged, or dismissed with age. It is your right, your private joy, your reminder that you are not just existing but living fully, deeply, and unapologetically. Your journey is not over. Your body is still listening. And every time you choose to honor it with care, with kindness, with presence, you are choosing to live on your own terms. And that, in the end, is the most dignified act of all.